Today is the 20th of November. Welcome to our meditation. I would like to read in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 2. All a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. So the Lord knows your heart. He knows your spirit. He weighs your spirit. He knows everything about you. So how should we behave before a God like this, who is Lord of lords and King of kings, who is the Almighty One? How can we behave before a king, a great king like that? James chapter 4 verse 10 says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up." So the only way you can approach him is by humbling yourself before him. Because when you do so, you consider that he is much greater, much greater than you. The verb to humble oneself here comes from an idea of putting a soldier on his place. He wanted to be maybe the captain, but then he is brought down to the position, to the rank that is his. God is the captain, God is the king, God is the Lord, and you are his servant. That's a very good position. And we know that every time that there is a fall in the Bible is because someone is trying to take the place that belongs to God, which is impossible. We cannot have that place. And our greatest problem is our ego, isn't it? We want to have that position that belongs to God alone. So we cannot have that. And every time we try, we fall, because it's impossible to take the place of God. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. Humble yourselves before, it says, under God's mighty hand. God is powerful, and his hand is powerful. His actions, his works. So we have to humble ourselves under the actions of such a powerful God. Become his servants. That's the only way. And that's the only way we can live together as well in the body of Christ. Because the moment someone wants to be superior, the harmony is going to be broken. We are all equals before God. God is the Lord. He is the mighty one. He is the king. And we are his servants, his subjects. That's the only way it can work. And Jesus is going to say that as well in Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. That's what we call the Sermon on the Mountain, chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7. And it just starts with this: blessed are those. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The only way we can enter the kingdom of heaven is by being poor in spirit. It's when we recognize that God is God and we depend on him. Apart from him, we can do nothing at all. So that's to be poor in spirit. It's not talking about material poverty here. It's talking about a spirit dependence on God. It's to be humble before him. And we don't enter the kingdom of heaven. The talk that Jesus had with Nicodemus in John chapter 3 is very interesting, because Nicodemus was a religious man, a Pharisee. He knew the law. He tried to practice the law. He had an external appearance of spirituality, like all the religious people of his time. But then Jesus told him that he had to be born from above to enter the kingdom of heaven. The only way he could enter the kingdom of heaven he was to be born from above. And that's the same thing for us. And we need to be poor in spirit to understand that we need that. There is nothing we can do with our own strength to enter the kingdom of heaven. The only way is through the blood of the Lamb, because salvation, says Revelation chapter 7, belongs to the one who is sitting on the throne. So it is through him that we get it. And in your daily life, you depend on him as well, because without him, you can do nothing at all. So that is what it is to be poor in spirit, is to depend completely on him. You have no money without the money that he gives you. God bless you.